It's hard to believe that just 1 week ago today there were 86,000 people at the MCG for the T20 World Cup Women's Final, and a very different set of circumstances as we go to where this afternoon with the government's response to the coronavirus. Let's go to the Nine Network's political editor now, Chris Ullman in Canberra, for his analysis of the Prime Minister's directives this afternoon.
Well, Pete, we're facing a once-in-a-100-year event.
To enable Australians to go back to as normal a life and an economy as possible, and to be able to achieve that as soon as we possibly can.
We're on track, and we're making progress far sooner than we could have ever imagined several months ago.
No matter what restrictions we ease, none of it will work if we get complacent. None of it will work unless we keep our social distancing when we're out and about, and unless we come forward and get tested, even if we have the mildest of symptoms.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
Here we are back at Armidale in the shed where we finished off Elsie, or sort of. So it's at the auto electricians now. I'm just getting a few gremlins sorted out with the edict motor, and then just all the lights, making sure they're all working properly and blinking and braking lights and all that kind of thing for registration, which should be happening soon, we hope. Yep. So we're going to crack ahead with the interior build out.
Yep.
We've been at Bunnings spending money, just getting a few basic tools, jigsaw, circular saw, and we've got a few bits of timber, some 712mm ply, just so we can start building a little bit of an interior camper fit out. So it's a camper. It's exciting. This is a fun bit. I don't know, this bit's a lot more fun than body work, because you don't even know if it's going to work. In the car, you're just like, oh.
So we're going to do this in stages because we obviously don't have the car with us. We have measurements that we initially took, but what do they say?
It'd be better if we had the car up, measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, so we're going to cut pieces up and then have them ready to go. So when we get the car back, we'll fit it all together and then start screwing it together, I think. Is that right? Yeah.
It's a plan.
Yeah,
awesome.
So let's crack on with it.
Crack on with it.
So this is going to be our bench top. It's just a bit of, what is that? Bit of wood. I don't know about woods.
This is pine, bit of treated pine.
Yeah, so we're going to give it a bit of a sand and then round the corners off slightly.
It's specifically like a bench top, or like, you know, if you want to do a shelf or something. So this will be an actual bench top in the Troopy.
Yeah. And then we're going to
sand it, stain it, and varnish it. So it's going to be a pretty piece of wood.
In the same condition as we left it, nice and dusty. Sorry, Dad. So this is just 180 grit sandpaper. It is like, it says it's fine for wood, but
pretty coarse.
220 by hand, and then we were given
steel wool.
Yeah, to go
so
over that.
Get it nice and smooth.
Okay, so we've sanded this down with the orbital sander, and then with hand sandpaper, and then with steel wool, which the guy at Bunnings told us to do. Now we're going to apply a stain to it. We're using a water-based interior stain in maple.
Ooh.
Maple. So hopefully I like it.
Holly was wanting to pick it for so long. One we wanted wasn't there. What was that?
Yeah.
Barnyard red.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So.
Well, if we hate it, we'll just get another bench.
Well, here goes nothing.
Alright, we don't have the Troopy here, so it's a bit hard, but we do have the measurements, the internal measurements of the Troopy. So we've just marked out with masking tape the back of the troopy, like essentially the steps in the troopy and the tub, and then we've marked out the fridge and everything. So at least we can start cutting, mocking up the interior build out. So we're just starting, we just did our first cut then, some 7mm ply. We're gonna join up some 12mm. Having real trouble getting plywood together, and I'm not a carpenter, obviously, I have no idea what I'm doing. So yeah, this is gonna be a interesting job. Alright, so the build out for the troopy is coming along pretty well. We just had to go do a run to Bunnings just to get a few quick grips and right edge and the chalk line and stuff like that. Just makes it so much easier having the right tools. Might be a bit hard to visualise here, but this will be the tub of the troopy, so our feet are actually going to be here. There's going to be another piece of wood on top of this whole section here, and then another piece on top of that, which will slide out and slot into here. So then we can put our bed across, and then inside here is going to be a storage drawer, which we're going to make up now. It'll just pull out, and it'll just be on candle wax to make it sort of slip a bit nicer. And we'll probably have it accessible this way as well, so you'll be able to lift it up like that. So you can lift it up like that and pull the drawer out.
So we've just made a box here, storage box, which we've made fit in our little compartment area.
Yeah. Woo!
We think it's pretty cool considering we're not carpenters, but yeah, it looks good. Fits well.
And then, as I said, there'll be wood over the top of this. So then our bench seat will be on top of here. So yeah, we'll be sitting on top. And then, when we need to sleep, we'll slide another bit of wood out and sit in this lip. And yeah, pretty cool.
As you can tell, it is bitterly cold in Armidale today. It's potentially going to snow. Matt has just done the first layer of varnish on our bench top. It was just a varnish that we got from Bunnings, just a water-based varnish. It says apply a minimum of 2 layers, and between layers, sand with 240 grit sandpaper. Oh, actually you can tell a bit of a difference. It does look nice and shiny. And then yesterday, we finished off with staining our box. And now we're going to stain its holder. Alright, so you might remember when we did the Hilux build out that we mapped everything out on the ground first and then built around it. That's what we're doing again now. So we've got the fridge in, we're just trying to figure out where we're going to put water. We think we've come up with a solution. We think. So Matt's just going to go get the front runner tank that we have in the Hilux and see if it'll fit in this section here. So yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back and let you know if it's going to work or not. Looks like it might work.
Looks like it might just work. Good morning, everybody. It is absolutely freezing here in Armidale. It's like just on the edge of snow. It's sort of sleety, just freezing weather, which is good fun. Like we're nice indoors here. So today, what are we doing? We've been working hard putting all our build out together, and it's come together really well. We're really happy with it, and the practicality of it so far, I think it's going to work really well. Today, pretty big day, we'll be picking up the car. It's been at the auto electrician's. It's had just lights wired up properly. It needed a new switch in the indicator stalk because the high-low beam wasn't working properly. The indicators were, but the high-low wasn't. So that's got a fresh one in there. Indicators wired up properly. New washer bottle with new motor, so we can squirt water out, which is for registration. It's just obviously handy to have. What else? New number plate, rear number plate holder lights at the back, which is also essential for registration. And contacts in the starter motor. Good, that's getting done right now. So that's good because it was sort of, I didn't really know what was going on. I thought it was sort of jamming up the starter motor. I thought it was an actual issue with the whole starter motor itself. So that was where we had to put it in gear and then rock it back and forth, and then it would go. But it just turns out it was just the contacts, and if you kept clicking it over, the clutch was engaging the motor, but the motor wasn't going. But if you keep doing it, then it would engage, so I didn't know that. But it's a bit funny because I had one bloke look at the contacts and he was like, oh yeah, they're all right, but then this bloke's like, nah, they're buggered. So that's exactly what happens when they're screwed. So car's starting well. Still a few little issues with the EDIC motor, but we can live with that. That's all right. That's the workaround. So yeah, fun times. We're just looking at tyres and obviously blue slip next. That's the big one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get that passed. Let's put in the second layer of varnish on now, onto our bench top, our pretty bench top. So yeah, it's coming up really good. We're really happy with it actually.
So we are just using a candle, rubbing it on this box just so it slides in and out of the drawer a bit easier. You don't have to do this because it was sliding in, but yeah, it'll just make it a bit easier.
Nicer. We don't have runners.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, a cheap
We don't have runners. It's just simple, you know,
back to basics.
back to basics. So not overcomplicating anything. That's good.
Yeah. We're not sure what's happened with weather, but it just becomes so much colder than what it was.
It's like the
this
White
morning.
Walkers in Game of Thrones have come by, or bloody Death Eaters in Harry Potter. You know, when they get really cold, it's just like I'm checked outside for a couple of Death Eaters, couldn't find them. What's going on here?
So we've made this little compartment for tools and whatnot. So we're going to put in a bit of marine carpet. So we're just going to glue that down with this quick grip glue. So this glue, you got to put it in and then leave it for 15 minutes and then put whatever you're sticking to it on top of it.
Plan. We're going to get onto the bench top section with the drawers. Probably a fair few little fiddly little components to this. But we're going to use this timber here just to make a bit of a frame that the bench is going to be sitting on top of. So this will be sort of a lot of our food storage and our cooking equipment, just our kitchen. And then at this side here is going to be the battery. So we're sort of going to divide it a bit, but the bench will be going over the top, and then our power and everything will be up here. So
Cool, so this is what it's looking like so far.
it's coming together. So our drawer space is going to be under here, battery here, power points, and switches here. Yeah.
And the car's done.
Ah yeah, and the Troopy is done. She's back.
So, moment of truth. We're going to see if our handiwork.
Oh gosh.
Well, it fits lengthways. It's just this bit here, but you've got.
That's all right. We're going to prop it up on the bottom. Gives us more drawer space, height-wise anyway. So not too fussed.
Next week,
So yesterday, this is what we were working on.
staining the drawers and just bits and pieces.
Right. So we're just re-plumbing our water tank that we had in the ute. Okay, we've got a little bit of a milestone now. We're going to put our bed slats in just to see if they even fit in properly. Yes, it fits just. Oh, thank you, Lord. Our measurements were at least this time accurate. Big day today in Elsie. We're just off the Gyra now, and we're going to try and get our blue slip.
If you want to support the build, check out our merchandise or stickers on our website. We also sell prints from our lap of Australia and also of Matt's artwork. Cheers and thanks for watching.